Welcome back to Dr. Dean's Yoga Practice Restorative Series. Today we're going to be working on Padottasana or forward fold, so it's a wide-legged fold, okay? So I'm going to say let's start with our big Swiss ball for someone who's tall, and lower Swiss ball for someone with, doesn't have long legs. So this one's going to be a little interesting to demonstrate. So I'm going to start. Let's see, I don't want to knock over my candles. So I'm going to start in a seated position. Now remember, we talked about this a couple of times. You need to set the base of your restorative posture the same as you do with your regular physical active asanas, your physical practice, right? So you need to set the base first, and you need to feel really comfortable in that base so that you will be having that samasthiti, that coolness in your practice. So I'm just going to say, standing for your posture and you feel really wobbly, that you need to alter it so that you start to create that coolness, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push the ball back a little bit, and I'm going to take a super wide stance. Let me grab a couple of blocks too. Okay, so I'm going to come into a super wide stance. And what I'm going to do is, if you'll notice, I'm not really sitting on the ball. It's just between my legs, right? So I'm not putting any pressure on it, but my hands are, okay? And now what that's allowing me to do is create downward pressure on the ball in order to lengthen my spine. Maybe you could see the side angle, right? Exactly from the side. So notice when I watch my head and my neck and my shoulders, when I push down on the ball, do you notice I become a little longer? So my hips are staying back. Let me show you again, right? So I'm going to push my hips back, and as I press down on the ball, so I'm pushing down on the ball, I'm not pushing back. I'm trying to roll the ball into my thighs, right, into my adductors, my inner thighs, to get some length. And as I do that, I'm going to start to bend my elbows. I'm still pushing down, okay? Now, I find that, this range of motion is pretty easy. So let's start with a breath in, and then I'm going to push down on the ball and fold. So I'm putting a little bit of stability pressure on the ball, but I'm actively pushing into the ball because I want to feel like the ball is going to push me forward and I'm going to fall over. So my action is to sit back a little bit more. So I'm trained by pushing down on the ball. See how that's pulling me forward? Right? So that forward cue is to remind me to continue to sit back. So as I'm pulling myself forward, I'm sitting back at the same time. You could almost say, right, this is Pratikriyasana, sort of that yin-yang, right? Two actions and opposite working together. I'm going to take a big breath in, and I'm going to exhale through. Now, if this feels pretty comfortable and you can maintain a really flat back, then what I want you to do is go ahead and take a couple of blocks. Now remember, this isn't your usual forehead to the floor, right? So restorative is about gaining a little extra space, a little extra length in your practice by letting the joints experience this length or these shapes without actually having to provide all the stability themselves, right? So I'm going to create this waterfall grip right here. So you see the knuckles are lined up on the top of the block, and then the fingers softly fall over like waterfalls, right? So I'm not grabbing the block, okay? And now I'm going to pull my shoulder heads back, and now I'm going to lengthen into the blocks as I push my hips back, and then I'm going to gently bend my flat back. My chin is going to soften on its way up. So I'm going to take a breath in, and then I'm going to exhale, draw my belly in as I fold, actively pulling my hips back and actively pulling my chest or my heart forward. One more big breath in. And just because I love it so much, we're going to do a third one. Exhale, fold, drawing in the navel. And then I'm going to take a breath in, and I'm going to soften to exit. Okay, so what would be a really great Pratikriyasana, since we already have the ball here, right? Let's come into a little bit of a back bend, forward, rounding, right? You might know this as cat, Madhyasana. So really pull your shoulders up into your ears and round your back. And this should feel really nice after that. So this is the opposite of the flat back. I'm kind of tucking my hips in. Take a big breath in and exhale. Yeah, this is the perfect Pratrikriyasana. Yeah, and so just do those as many times as you want that feels right. Okay, well, I hope you found that to be useful, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.